The following video is sponsored by DRAFTKINGS Sportsbook.
The holidays are right around the corner, and it is still hot on the field. That's why I've partnered up with DraftKings, an official partner of the NFL, to get you close to all the action. Right now, new customers, get this. Bet just $5 and you will get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Sign up using my promo code Philly500, and the crown could be yours this holiday season. And if you're already signed up for DraftKings like me, you can get a no-sweat bet, get a bonus bet back if your same-game parlay or same-game parlay extra bet doesn't hit. Maximum reward limits do apply. And if you're a fan of multiple teams and want to bet them all, combine multiple bets together for a shot at even bigger payouts. And listen, if sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry about it. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers who use my promo code Philly500 and bet $5 will get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code Philly500 only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Once again, I'd like to thank DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring today's video. And remember, use promo code Philly500, bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Danny Devito was great in Twins, but he isn't going to be great versus the Eagles. It is time for this team to get on track. It is time for this team to get back where they were and win this division. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, Dingbat here. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. Are you ready? Are you ready for the biggest game of the year for the Philadelphia Eagles? And I can't believe I'm saying it, because I never thought Christmas Day would be the biggest game of the year for the Eagles. But it is. It is. Not because of who they're playing, but because this team needs to stop the bleeding. This team needs to get back on track. This team is in an epic freefall, an epic collapse, and they've got to catch themselves and stop it before it's too late and they're going to be writing it and putting it down in the history books. This collapse has been that bad, and it can get a lot worse if the Eagles don't beat the Giants. Now, before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled Eagles content creator in all of the internet. If you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you so much for all the support you give to me. It truly means a lot. And you know, we talked earlier about Jalen Hurts and the internal concerns, which I think is a bunch of overblown stuff. But I do think that this coaching staff, especially this head coach, could be in a lot bigger of a hot seat than people realize. I really do. Because I don't know how you go 10-1, you then collapse. Let's say you lose to the Giants. Let's say you get tossed in the first round of the playoffs. How are you going to keep this locker room? How is this team going to continue to trust you? Not just for the rest of the year, but even going into next year. I think if the collapse continues and it's that bad, I think there's a good possibility that Nick Sirianni gets fired. I know it's crazy and nobody's thinking about it, but I think you have to consider it. And when you're talking about a owner who fired Doug Peterson, a guy who had just won a Super Bowl and then went to like 3 straight playoffs, and then they fired him the one year he doesn't, anything is possible. And this is going to be a big game. And if you guys haven't, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And I know everybody's getting ready for the holidays. I'm getting ready for the holidays. And I'm also getting ready to watch Cop Pizzle do twirly whirlies in his little tutu. He's going to be wearing a tutu, doing his little twirly whirlies, singing Fly Eagles Fly after Eagles beat the crap out of his team. But, you know, somebody tell Pizzle, listen, Philly 500 does not mind sending pictures of the belt to your kids so they can see what it looks like, when a true champion has it. And that's me. So he ain't getting the belt back because the Eagles aren't going to lose this game. They can't, okay? And listen, it's the Giants. You never know what you're going to get. Usually we beat the Giants, but division games can be tough. And I know the Cowboy fans, they need the Eagles to lose. They're begging because they can't win the division if the Eagles win out. And I really think if the Eagles beat the Giants, and not just beat them like, 9-6, 13-10, but if they beat them the way I think that they're going to beat them, the Eagles can get back on track. It is possible. This game, it has to be a get-right game for the Eagles. This has to be the game that you take all the frustrations over the course of the last 3 weeks and you take it out on the New York Giants. You take it out on Danny Devito. Love him in Twins, but he can't be winning this football game. All right, I love him in Twins, but he can't be winning this football game. You got to take it out on his ass. Okay? Now, there are injury concerns as of me doing this video today. The final injury report hasn't come out yet, but there are injury concerns. It looks like, of course, you're going to be without Darius Slay. It looks like Cunningham is in legitimate question. It looks like Juergens is going to be possibly back, which is good. The problem is, on the other end, you're going to have a situation with Landon Dickerson being out due to a thumb. So we're going to have a problem there. Opeta, I think he'll be fine. But listen, the Giants, the one thing with Thibodeau especially, he's a stud. He can get to the quarterback. So the Eagles are going to have to protect him. But overall, I think for the Eagles, it's not about what the Giants present to you. It's about what you do, okay? And what the Eagles need to do, especially on the offensive side of the ball, is get back to the running game. And we say this every week. Get back to the running game. Be okay taking short to intermediate throws and take what the defense gives you. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to rush everything. Right now, the Eagles want to force the big play all the time. Force the big play all the time. It's funny because it's like the opposite of what Doug Peterson used to do. I used to complain that Doug Peterson, he would have stretches where he would go 4 or 5 games without having one pass thrown over 20 yards. Now, it's like we do the opposite end of the spectrum. You got to have balance. Take what the defense gives you. Take what's in front. If the Eagles just would have had that philosophy versus Seattle Seahawks last week, they would have won the game. But they didn't. You don't have to force things with the Giants. Just take what's in front of you. I think it's very important for this offense to try to get into some sort of rhythm, to try to get the running game going, get Hurst into a rhythm, be okay with the underneath stuff and the stuff that they give you. And you know what? Your shots to go long, go deep, you still take them when you get the chance, but you don't have to overdo it. And I would love to see this team, especially offensively, get into some sort of a rhythm, something to build on going into next week. Jalen Hurts did not play good in the last game versus Seattle, but I think that could all change this week versus the New York Giants. And then as far as our defense goes, I mean, listen, the New York Giants do not have a chance in hell versus the Eagles if they can't run the ball. So they have to run the ball. They need Saquon Barkley to have a monster game. And listen, I'm sure Saquon Barkley is licking his chops right now. I'm sure he's licking his chops going, man, you see what all these teams are doing to the Eagles' run game right now? I'm going to go out and have a big game. You got to stop the run. And it's going to be interesting to see what Matt Patricia does with another week with this defense. I want to see Eli Ricks play more. I want to see Ringo go out there and play more. I want to see those guys go out there and play more. Bradbury stinks. Well, I mean, what can I say? And they're going to go after him. But I don't really, the Giants' passing game doesn't scare me. Okay, I like the kid Hyatt and stuff, but they don't scare me. What scares me about the Giants is the running game. If Barkley has a monster game, and Barkley has had some pretty big games against us before, but if you stop him, you should be able to be okay on defense. Like I said, I look at this game as a get-right game. The Giants have allowed 5+ sacks in 4 of the last 5 games. When you look at the Eagles' defense, and we talk about the run defense, but the real problem with the Eagles' defense, more than even the secondary, in my opinion, is this pass rush. The truth of the matter is, and we haven't talked a lot about it because we know we have talented guys, we know what they did last year, but this pass rush has not been nearly as good as it was a year ago. They got like the worst sack rate on 3rd down in the league. It's not good. Okay, last year you had Hassan Reddick doing his thing. You had Graham had double-digit sacks. Sweat had double-digit sacks. You had all those guys. Now, you had Hargrave last year too. Now this year you're without Hargrave, but you still got Jordan Davis is having a great year. Jalen Carter is probably Defensive Rookie of the Year, and you're not really getting the same production from Sweat. You're not really getting the same production from Brandon Graham. And then, Hassan Reddick's got 11 sacks, and he's doing his thing, and he's really been the only consistent one. You have to get pressure. You have to start getting a quarterback. The reason why this defense struggles, in my opinion, even more so than the secondary and the linebackers, is the defensive line has not been as good as they should have been. And we dismiss it a lot because they were good last year. But the truth of the matter is they haven't been as good. If they would get more pressure, they would be helping your secondary a lot. And some of it happened, and some of the reasons why the pass rush hasn't been as good early in the year was because teams were throwing so quick because they wanted the Eagles. They were worried about their pass rush. So, 2-step drop, boom, ball's out. And then the Eagles always play far off. But I think in recent weeks, I think the pass rush hasn't been getting there. You look at last week, Locke, too much time, no rush. He's sitting in the pocket. Dak Prescott sitting in the pocket. Purdy sitting in the pocket. The pass rush has to be better. And I hope that Matt Patricia, will say at least, hey, listen, if I can't get home with my front four, I have to generate blitzes. I do. There is no reason why the Eagles shouldn't be blitzing the crap out of Danny DeVito all day. Tommy Cutlets, whatever the hell's his name. Tommy Cutlets. I like chicken cutlets, but I can't call this guy. All right, yeah, you're Tommy Cutlets, and we're coming to feast on your ass. Pause. This week. But I'm not going to respect this kid in terms of being a guy that can go out and light me up. I'm going to blitz him. I'm going to bring pressure. I am going to go at him. I am not going to let him sit back and have all day to throw and throw underneath and miss tackles. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go at this guy. I'm going to show him no respect. And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to blast him into next week. That's what the Eagles need to do. This is, and I don't care what anybody says, this is a get-right game for the Eagles. This is your opportunity to get right. This is a game, and I'm going to predict this, and I know I shouldn't. People don't want to hear it. But I think the Eagles are going to win this game 31-13. I think they're going to beat the crap out of the Giants. I think that Vegas knows it. That's why its point spread's double digits. And I think the Eagles beat the crap out of the Giants, and they're going to get back on track. And this is going to be a get-right game. And we're all going to feel a little bit better after they win. We're all going to be able to breathe. And then we're going to refocus, and we're going to go right at Arizona. I expect the Eagles to win out. I expect the Eagles to get the 2 seed still because I think Detroit loses one more game. I really think Dallas loses to Miami this week. I think Dallas loses to Miami, and then I think Dallas beats Detroit in Dallas. And I think the Eagles win out. That will give the Eagles the 2 seed. Because remember, if the Eagles win out and Detroit win out, Detroit would technically be the 2 seed right now. So the Eagles need them to lose again, and I think that comes versus Dallas. But this team has to get right. This has to be a get-right game. Even winning 9-6, if the Eagles won 17-14, like a real struggle to win this game is a bad sign. And I really wonder if this coach can keep this locker room if that continues. This has got to be a game you go out and you blast the Giants into next week. You take it out on them, and you feel a lot better coming out of this game. Just my opinion. You guys will see me again. I will be streaming on Monday. Eagles Giants. I'll be streaming that game, so look for me. You won't see me on Sunday, but it is what it is. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat, remember. It's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. Now, don't think I forgot, because I didn't. I know what time it is. It's eggnog time, yo. Tastes so good. Tastes so good when it touches your lips. Denzel Washington, out.